Hello and welcome to the Entertainment Vortex. We were at Brennan Theaters today watching John Wick 3 Parabellum. Now, if you've seen our previous reviews for the first two John Wick movies, you know that I am a super fan. And when I say super fan, I mean this is the franchise. Put this and Kingsman right next to each other, and I am chomping at the bit to see everything they put out for these two franchises. They are amazing. I felt the first movie redefined action movies going forward, and I was right. You can see how much of an impact it's had on the industry since John Wick came out. But this movie I was dying to see. I wanted to see how they were going to conclude the trilogy, what we were going to get story-wise, and just how they were going to up the ante on these crazy action scenes we keep getting. Well, I was not disappointed. In the first 15 minutes of this movie, you get a fight scene that immediately sets the bar for what this movie is going to be. You're like, oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, just brutal. It's gorier, it's more brutal, and every single impact, you feel it in the audience. When it happened, I can hear the people in the audience reacting. Like, it was like, oh, man, that's brutal. With that being said, this was a great time. Not a perfect time, but a great time. I definitely don't think this is the strongest of the three movies. Sad to say that, because I really did want this to be the one where they had learned what they were doing and they brought everything together and they just nailed it. But I think where the weak point in this is the story. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying this is a horrible story. I am not saying this is a mediocre movie, but I am saying there are aspects of this story that kind of make me scratch my head a little bit and go, was that really the best choice? Was that really the best idea? Was that really the best character to follow? Etc., etc., etc. There are aspects of the story that could have been done better, that would have been more interesting. It takes a little bit of a tangent halfway through. It's really odd for me, but at the same time, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie as a whole. I enjoyed where the story went, and I can only assume that they were planting those seeds for a reason. I know that there's supposed to be a Continental TV show, what that's going to be about, and where it's going to be located, and what characters are going to be in it, if they're even going to have anything from the movie, I don't know. But I know that this world is not ending at this point. Now, like I said, I don't know how much of the movie world is going to be in the TV world. It might be all new locations. It might even be a different time period. But it also could be why they were kind of explaining things as they went in this one. We will have to wait and see. When it comes to the main point of these movies, which is the action, I mean, you go to see a John Wick movie for the action. You don't go for the story necessarily. It was top notch. Every single action scene, you're just jaw on the ground trying to figure out what's going to happen. I kept thinking to myself, like, how did they film this? Just the amount of takes it took to get this perfect must have been mind-blowing. The choreography is like a dance. A brutal, bloody, painful dance. And I want to see it again and again and again. Obviously, the characters from the first two movies that stood out are Keanu Reeves as John Wick. It was an amazing character, amazing portrayal. You really believe that he can do those things, which is crazy. And then also Ian McShane as Winston. And of course, they're major parts of this movie. So you're going to get to see more of those characters, you're going to get to see more of those personalities, and you're going to get to see them evolve even further. And that's what I signed up for, that's why I bought a ticket. So overall, this movie is fantastic. If you are a fan of the first two movies, I highly suggest watching this movie. Chances are, if you're a big fan of the first two movies as I was, you've probably already seen this third movie. But I highly suggest re-upping on those first two, running out and watching the third one, and really enjoying yourself. I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10 because it is nearly perfect. The only thing that causes me not to give it a full 10 is a couple of those story points really bothered me, and one of them just seemed dumb. I can't give it quite a perfect score, but 9.5, still one hell of a film. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We give you multiple videos every single week. And we have t-shirts available if you're interested in those as well. Those are available down in the description below. We hope you'll follow us into the Vortex. We'll see you next time.